We begin this sports roundup with a nod to the jack of all motorized sports, Travis Pastrana. Last Sunday night on the History Channel, Travis completed over 400 total feet of motorcycle jumps in Las Vegas, flying over 52 cars, 16 buses, and a massive fountain at Caesar's Palace. In the process, Pastrana rode an Indian Scout V-twin motorcycle for all stunts while wearing an Evel Knievel-inspired, star-studded, cape-clad, white leather suit in his tribute show called Evel Live. Pastrana has a long list of absurd stunts under his belt, including a jump out of a plane without a parachute, not recommended, a backflip into the Grand Canyon, and a 269-foot jump in a rally car, and the world's first Aussie roll on a motorcycle. It's fitting then that Pastrana would be the man to break three of Evel Knievel's records all in one night, doing the three jumps back to back to back. So cool. We will stay with motorsport and switch gears, pun intended, for news out of MotoGP that longtime Honda rider Dani Pedrosa will retire at the end of the season. He calls it a career after 18 years, which included 3 world championships. Current Ducati rider Jorge Lorenzo is heading to Honda to fill his seat next season. Lorenzo leaves Ducati after 2 years, despite a recent run of success. In Formula One, Sebastian Vettel took the British GP last weekend, holding off a furious charge from Lewis Hamilton from the back. The German GP is next on July 22nd. Eric Jones won one for the Young Guns on Saturday at Daytona with his first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series victory. With all eyes on the crop of budding talent, the question is, which Young Gun could take the next checkered flag? NASCAR rolls into Kentucky Speedway Saturday. James Hinchcliffe won at Iowa in IndyCar. The Canadian driver will now turn his attention to Toronto. The IndyCar Series is north of the border this Sunday. To the baseball diamond, the Yankees finally picked up ace Luis Severino for a change. Brett Gardner and Greg Bird combined to give the Yankees just enough offensive firepower in their 7-4 win over Cleveland on Thursday. The pair negated a rough outing for Severino, who only struck out one batter. It was his first 1K regular season start since September 2016. He also allowed multiple homers in consecutive games for the first time since May of 2016. He believes he could be tipping his pitches. Gardner had a pair of homers of his own. He has 4 in his past 7 games, and Bird drove in 2 runs, upping his RBI total in the past 4 games to 11. The Yankees finish up the road series this weekend in Cleveland before the All-Star break. Max Scherzer made a final pitch to start the All-Star game on his own mound. Anthony Rendon hit 2 homers, and Bryce Harper also connected, leading the Washington Nationals over the New York Mets 5-4 Thursday night. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The Pro Football Hall of Fame will not acknowledge Terrell Owens individually during Enshrinement Weekend in Canton, Ohio next month, the Hall's executive director says. Owens announced last month that he would not attend the ceremony scheduled for August 3rd and the 4th and would instead give a speech at his alma mater, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Owens will deliver his acceptance speech on campus August the 4th. On the NBA hardwood, the Brooklyn Nets have traded point guard Jeremy Lin in a package to Atlanta. That deal freed up $12.5 million in cap space. The Nets then dealt Isaiah Whitehead to Denver for Kenneth Faried in a salary dump that also yielded the Nets a protected first-round pick in 2019 and an unprotected second-rounder in 2020. Denver will waive Whitehead, who had a non-guaranteed deal. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks certainly look like the winners of the NBA draft during the Summer League. On Thursday, the Knicks Summer League team featuring 9th pick Kevin Knox and 36th pick Mitchell Robinson bowed out in the tournament in an 82-75 loss to the Boston Celtics. New York will play a final consolation game today, but the headlines have certainly been centered around the rookies. The two took their first steps as pros in the Las Vegas Summer League with some intriguing results. Knox averaged 23.3 points and 7.3 rebounds through his first 3 games. Even in a poor game last night, though, Knox showed the hallmarks that the Knicks hope will translate to the next level. Robinson looked pretty darn good, too. Former Knicks big man Charles Oakley must not have been doing much winning in Las Vegas. He was arrested in Las Vegas on Sunday for committing or attempting to commit a fraudulent act in a gambling establishment that the Nevada Gaming Control Board said in a statement provided to ESPN on Thursday. He was suspected of adding to or reducing his wager on a gambling game after the outcome was known, according to the board. I just love Oakley. He's the best. UFC 226 did not disappoint last weekend, especially in the heavyweight finale. Daniel Cormier knocked out Stipe Miocic in a shocker, taking the title in a first-round knockout. Cormier now holds the UFC's heavyweight and light heavyweight belts. Brock Lesnar also made a surprise appearance in the octagon, setting the stage for Cormier-Lesnar at some point. It also appears that we may finally see Cyborg Nunes soon, which would be the top fight on the female side. Ireland's Dan Martin won the 6th stage of the 105th edition of the Tour de France. From the World Cup, my pick Brazil was in the mix until last weekend. The Final Four has given us a France-Croatia final on Sunday. The third-place game will feature Belgium and England on Saturday. The New York City FC topped the Red Bulls 1-0 last Sunday at Yankee Stadium. NYCFC is currently in second place in the MLS standings after defeating Montreal Wednesday night. They take on Columbus on Saturday. Semifinal action at Wimbledon today, with Nadal and Djokovic on center court this morning. Serena Williams is in the final on the women's side, and it's like she never left the sport at all after giving birth. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a possible trade that increasingly looks more and more like reality. Rumors have been swirling this week that the Yankees and Orioles, division foes, could swing a deal that would send 26-year-old Manny Machado to the Bronx. I don't see the reason for it, but I wasn't surprised either when Machado liked an Instagram picture of himself in a Yankee uniform Wednesday night. From the sounds of it, he wants a seat in the BX party. I still believe the Yanks should focus on pitching, but you cannot deny what kind of special talent Machado is. His numbers are off the charts. Machado owns 23 homers and a most robust 957 OPS. Machado is not filling out a position of need for the Yankees with Didi Gregorius at shortstop and Miguel Andujar at third base. So they will balk at a deal for lefty prospect Justice Sheffield, but the bat would mean so much to the Yankees' championship run and take pressure off the other hitters that it's certainly something Brian Cashman should consider. If the Yankees are going to beat top stars like Justin Verlander and Chris Sale, you need a bat like Machado's in the middle of the lineup. Machado is such a great player that all things must be considered. If the Yankees can do the rental without Sheffield, more power to them. I actually think if there's one GM who could make it happen, it's Brian Cashman. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.